Well, greetings and salutations, good people of the internet. My name is Big Lou, and welcome to my workshop. With springtime finally upon us, the weather getting warmer, it is the perfect time of year for planting an herb garden. I love to cook, and having fresh herbs on hand is going to be an awesome addition to my house. This is an old shoe rack that my grandfather built for my grandmother to house her, well, let's just say assortment of footwear. Personally, I own 4 pairs of shoes, and 2 of those are flip-flops. I don't have any use for this as a shoe rack, but I figured it's the perfect shape and cubby size for turning it into an herb garden. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to convert this shoe rack into an herb garden. Let's get to work. Okay, so even though I love to cook, I am no Emeril Lagasse. I don't need, 14 bays worth of herb garden. I figure 6 will be plenty to cover all of the herbs that I would ever want in a garden for myself. So I'm going to start by cutting this to length and just chopping out the bays that I want. I'll use the rest of this for scraps in other projects. It is kind of dirty and dusty and nasty. It's been sitting here in my shop for, a couple of years now. So I want to clean it up, and then we can see exactly what we're working with. So let's get to it. Okay, this is one of the situations where I really didn't like how that cut was. I thought putting it up on the table would be a good idea. That way I could really secure it down and stuff. But having the saw like this, I didn't like it at all. So I always say, if it feels wrong, don't do it. So I'm going to move it to the floor, and then we'll finish cutting it up. So. Okay, so now that I've got this thing in a position where I could see how it would be used as a planter box, I realized that it's way too deep. Nobody needs a planter box that is 12 inches deep. That's just absurd. So I'm going to go ahead and break this thing all apart, cut some of the pieces down, and put it back together. That way I can just sand everything and make it look nice, and then we'll be all good to go. Plus, I get to use a sledgehammer. Let's do it. No, I didn't use the planer to strip paint off that last piece because I was tired of sanding. Why would you even think that? Okay, so everything is cleaned up, cut to size, ready to be assembled. I know, some of you are going to be asking why I didn't just use a stripper. Strippers? Somebody say strippers? Paint stripper. Numb nuts. Go do something away from here. Anyway, I didn't use a paint stripper because I wasn't sure what a paint stripper and the chemicals would do to paint that old. And it wasn't a very thick layer to begin with, so I figured just sanding it would be fine. Turned out it took a lot longer than I thought it would. But anyway, it's done now and we're ready to put it together. So let's take a look at the workbench. Hey, real quick, while I still got your undivided attention, I know that you guys are loving this video because, hey, you've watched this much of it. You may as well watch till the very end. Anyway, while you're here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's right here. Or maybe it's over here. Anyway, it's bright red. You can't miss it. Go ahead and click it. Did you click it? Subscribe? Excellent. All right, now we'll put this thing together. Let's go. Okay, this is another project done, and at least for now, all of the plants are still alive. Granted, I just planted them, so given my history with keeping green thumb things alive, that could change any minute. Anyway, I love how this thing turned out, and if you want to build one of these yourself, I know I just used an old shoe rack, but I will have the cut list and plans for this available on my website. You can check on that in the description down below. You, my friends, are an absolute legend. Truly Big Lou's lackeys if you'd stayed to the end of this video. I'm going to get to work on the next project. I'll have something fun for you to watch right here, and you can subscribe just by clicking right here. That's going to do it for this one. Stay motivated, stay inspired, and stay safe. We'll see you next time.